Hey guys, Shane here from Chart Smart Signals. As promised in my previous clip, we will be taking you through a real chart and plotting your trend lines. If you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so right now so that you don't miss any of our future clips and we can take you on this journey with us. Right, so what you see over here is the British pound, Japanese yen on the 4-hour chart. And what we're going to be looking for is a market condition. Remember, there's three market conditions that we look for: upward trend, downward trend, and then obviously the ranging, which is a lateral movement in price. All right, so what you can see over here is an upward trend. I'm sure you would agree with me. We're increasing price and it is a upward trend. Now, at the top over here, we see a change in the market structure, and it's tending to be a downward structure. And we're going to be looking for a short position because we are moving downward in price. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get my trend line drawn. All right, it's really simple. There's a couple of rules you need to apply when checking your support or resistance line. In this case, we've drawn our resistance line, and there's going to be one rule that we need to look out for to check the strength of it. I just want to quickly move this down a bit. That is one touch, two touches, three touches, which makes it a strong resistance line. Now we want to enter a short position as close as possible to our resistance line. So let's just go a bit further forward in time. All right, so it seems, there we go, that would have been a better line. It seems that we would have entered our position over here. Yeah, and then we've got a massive drop in price. We would have made some decent profit on this trade. All right, so in a later clip, I will be taking you through setting your TP and your stop loss. And a bit later on in this clip, I'm going to be taking you through different market structures and plotting your trend lines. Vitally important when drawing your trend line. First rule that you need to apply is 3 touches, right? And that causes for a strong resistance or support line, which obviously increases the probability of the price movement that you are predicting. In this case, we would have had a successful and profitable trade. All right, so on this chart, still on the British pound and Japanese yen 4-hour chart. On the previous chart, we looked at a downward trend and looking for a short position. On this example, we're going to be looking at this upward trend. We're looking for a long position. Let's get our trend line going. Okay, so over here we've got a touch where we see an increase in price. This is close enough to our support line, and this also gets pretty close to our support line. It goes up in price, and once again, so we've got multiple touches here, which makes this a very strong support line. All right, you do see a little bit of a fake break over here, which we'll cover in a later clip in how to retest for a fake break, and to sort of analyze and reassess what we'll be doing. And essentially at this point in time, if we were over here on the chart in real time, we would be waiting to see what the next bar does to be able to make a better decision. So let's see what happens. All right, so we see a big jump in price over here. So we would have entered our position over here. We would have entered a long position over here. And yeah, it definitely proves to be a strong support line. We would have had a nice profit over here. Once again, as said in the previous chart, we will be taking you through this in more detail, exactly how to plot your TP and your stop loss, a nice tight stop loss, a good risk to reward ratio to make sure that your account is growing steadily. Just take note once again, the rules that are applied, at least 3 touches or as close as possible to that support line where we see a price movement, makes it a strong support line, which we would have seen over here. We've seen an increase in price and a profitable trade. All right, in this market condition, we're looking at ranging market structure, moving laterally in price movement. We're going to be drawing a horizontal trend line. We're looking for something like that. Remember what I said in terms of trend lines on a real chart. It will never look like a textbook illustration. It will never look like an example in a theory session. It will always look a little bit messier, and that's okay because that's the reality. All right, and what we see here is a nice support line. All right, let's check if our rule applies. We've got 1 touch, 2 touches. We have a little fake break here, which we will cover, as I said, later on in another clip. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. All right, so this makes a strong support line, and what we're going to do is we're going to go forward in time. Here we've seen a break. Now it's important to pause at this time. We are pro traders, we're not amateur traders. We're not going to enter a short position thinking we've seen a breakout, it's going to drop in price, let's enter a short position. That would be foolish, and that would be an amateur move. So let's wait it out. Trading requires loads of patience and discipline, guys. You see here we've seen another movement back into our zone, and it's come back down in price, so we're going to wait a little bit longer. Right, it seems that it's dropped in price, but it has come back, and it seems to be quite a strong bullish candle. Yeah, and we've come back up in price. So at this point over here, somewhere over there, we would have entered a long position. Yeah, and we would have seen a profitable trade, taking our TP over there. Nice trade, profitable trade. We were patient, we applied the rules, and we had a profitable trade on this ranging motion. Okay guys, we're on the Australian dollar and Japanese yen, and we're on the 4-hour chart. I want to show you something in terms of, so we're going to draw a nice horizontal resistance line. Alright, now we're going to check if our rules apply. So we've got 1 touch here, we see a downward movement in price. We would have actually seen a nice profitable trade. Would have seen a nice profitable trade on this one if we caught it early enough. Nice big trade, as you can see there. Alright, so let's get back into what we're focusing on over here. We've got 1 touch, we've got 2 touch with a fake break. Alright, come down in value. We've got a 3rd touch, but it's just broken our resistance. Let's see what it does. We're patient. Yeah, it's broken it, and it's come back down in price. Alright, which we could enter a short position somewhere over here. Alright, We've entered our short position. Let's see what happens. We're going down in price. Yeah, it would have been a nice profitable trade. Probably taking our TP somewhere over here. And I want to just show you what can happen where your resistance becomes a support line. So we're coming back up in price. Alright, so here it has broken our resistance. It seems to be a full-on breakout, looking at the candles, and it has now become a support line. Let's see. Yeah. So we saw a proper breakout where our resistance has become our support line. We will now analyze and look for a further pattern to open a trade. Great. So to recap on this one, we had a horizontal trend line, which was our resistance line. We had 3 touches. We saw a profitable trade. We came up again to our resistance. It broke our resistance at this point over here. Alright, and we knew it was on an upward trend. Resistance became a support line. That does happen quite often. Alright guys, we're going to look at one last example. So I'm seeing an upward movement in price here. Alright. And it's been quite small, the candle movement in price. If you look at over these candles here, quite a volatile drop. So when it's small and I'm looking at an increasing price, so an upward trend, right, at some point it's going to have a break where it's going to be pretty a volatile move. So you know, the higher the volatility, the higher opportunity of a bigger reward. Let's see what happens on this. We've got our trend line. 1 touch, 2 touch. Let's see if we're going to get a 3rd touch. Alright, there's a touch. Let's see what happens. Is it going to break the support? No. So there's our 3rd touch. This is on the 4-hour chart, guys. And I would have entered the position somewhere over here. Alright. And there was a great bull movement. So we would have profited nice on this trade. A good profitable trade. Once again, our support proving to be strong. And the motion of small candles along the way. When we saw upward trend, so we saw a ranging movement, we started seeing an upward trend. All right, and with the lateral movement and small candle movement, there was going to be a volatile breakout at some point, or upward breakout where we would see an increase in price, and that is what we've just seen over here. Perfect. So yeah, most definitely a profitable trade. Look at that. That was a brilliant one. All right, so that's it for this clip. Literally drawing trend lines is not going to be picture perfect. Look for the opportunity. There's 3 market structures you're looking for. You're looking for a upward trend, downward trend, or ranging movement. Those are the 3 market conditions, and you would then draw your support or your resistance line. Check with the rules. 1, 2, 3 touches. That would prove that it's a strong support or resistance. Depending on the movement, look for your trade, open your position. In the following clip, we'll be covering how you can set your TP and a safe stop loss with a great risk to reward ratio. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you later on in the channel. If you are interested in getting involved and following our signals, feel free to reach out to us in one of the many ways, from Telegram, WhatsApp, our website, email, Facebook, Instagram. Just get in touch with us. We will get you into our channel. You can start following our signals. Make sure that you are ready to make a change in your life. Look for financial independence and freedom. This isn't a method of getting rich quick. Anyone that tells you that is trying to sell you a dream. It does take consistency, discipline, and a couple of losses along the way. So you need to be psychologically strong as well. Remove the emotion from trading and have fun. Thanks for watching, and please reach out to us if you need any help.